The United States Naval Base at Subic Bay, Philippines, once hailed as one of the largest military bases globally, ceased operations in 1992. However, 32 years after the US Navy's departure from the Philippines, the looming threat from China is provoking discussions of a potential return. Presently, the US military is engaged in negotiations to establish a civilian port in the Batanes Islands, located in the northernmost region of the Philippines. This strategic move results from an extended defense cooperation agreement between the two nations.
Batanes is in a really strategic location. The Luzon Strait separates Taiwan and the Philippines. Batanes is basically smack dab in the middle of that. Obvious to any planner, this is a key piece of geography. Whoever controls Batanes controls the strait.
The reported U.S. plan to develop the port came to light in August during the 72nd anniversary celebration of the Mutual Defense Treaty signed by the U.S. and the Philippines. This treaty binds both nations to offer mutual assistance in the face of foreign invasion or aggression, with the U.S. reaffirming its unwavering commitment to defend the Philippines. This development emerged shortly after a concerning incident when the China Coast Guard harassed Philippine ships during a resupply mission near the Ayungin Shoal on August 5th, eliciting condemnation from not only the US but also the UK, Japan, and several other countries. This year's joint military drills, along with massive live exercises at sea, have fueled speculation. These exercises coincide with China's aggressive monitoring of all its borders, with particular focus on the South China Sea. Kanishka Gangopadhyay, a spokesperson for the U.S. Embassy in Manila, revealed that U.S. Embassy and U.S. Army Pacific experts have been proactively engaging with the local government, at their request. The discussions encompass various facets, including engineering, medical, and agricultural development projects in the region. Marilu Kaiko, Batanes governor, has actively sought American assistance to construct a port that can facilitate cargo ships navigating through the treacherous waters during the monsoon season. The proposed location for this port is Basco Island, strategically chosen due to the frequent inaccessibility of the existing port caused by highways. Furthermore, the Philippines Armed Forces have expressed a keen interest in radar technology to bolster their monitoring capabilities in the region. Although U.S. officials have held multiple discussions with Philippine counterparts, the final decision is anticipated in October. Before we continue our journey, please consider supporting our team through your appreciation and through Patreon. It is with your support that we can unravel this complex realm. The link is given in the description below. Now coming back to our discussion. One senior officer within the Philippines Navy has underlined the necessity of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, especially in the realm of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations, said one official. When questioned about the potential expansion of EDCA sites to Subic, another officer emphasized that EDCA transcends its defensive role. It also plays a pivotal part in honing the skills and capabilities of their officers. The expansion of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, particularly the proposed naval base, has grown into a paramount issue concerning America's emerging strategic footprint in the region.
We'd probably see more negative reactions from the Chinese because they actually do have a right to fear these sites.
The proposed port, situated approximately 200 kilometers from Taiwan, not only enhances American access to the region, but also escalates tensions between Washington and Beijing. Beijing perceives any U.S. efforts aimed at bolstering ports and facilities in Pacific Islands as a direct threat, viewing them as potential springboards for U.S. intervention in the event of a Chinese attempt to use force against Taiwan.
事实非常清楚，美方出于一己私利，抱持零和思维，不断在本地区加强军事部署，其结果必然是加剧局势紧张，危害地区和平稳定。地区国家应该深入地想一想，到底什么才是合适的，什么才是互利的，从而做出真正有利于自身利益、有利于地区和平稳定的选择。
This perspective holds whether the facilities are overtly military or ostensibly civilian, as they can all be used to facilitate U.S. support for Taiwan in a confrontation. While the United States formally adheres to the One China policy, recognizing only one Chinese government and maintaining formal relations with Beijing instead of Taiwan, it has cultivated strong ties with Taiwan through the provision of military aid under the Taiwan Relations Act. This act is designed to provide the island with the necessary means to defend itself.
We agree with what we signed on to a long time ago. And that there's one China policy, and Taiwan makes their own judgments about their independence. We are not moving, we're not encouraging their being independent. That's their decision.
The Foundation for Defense of Democracies, in a July policy brief, pointed out heightened tensions in the region as China's People's Liberation Army deployed a dozen warships near Taiwan. This development has raised concerns about potential misjudgments between the US and Chinese militaries. The United States shares these concerns, and public opinion within the country reflects growing apprehensions about China's activities. A survey conducted by Ipsos in August revealed that almost a third of Americans perceive China as an immediate threat to the United States, with 40% believing that the United States will engage in a war with China within the next 5 years. The survey involved 1,005 adults representing a wide political spectrum, with a margin of error of 5.3%. Furthermore, 2/3 of Americans believe that the US should enhance its preparedness for military threats from China. In essence, the proposed port in Batanes epitomizes Washington's strategic maneuver to forge closer ties with Asian nations, ultimately countering China's expanding dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. China perceives these US initiatives as inflammatory actions that exacerbate regional tensions.
我们要全面加强练兵备战，提高人民军队打赢能力，祖国完全统一一定要实现，也一定能够实现。
As the US extends its military presence in and around the South China Sea, including strategic choke points like the Batanes Islands, the geopolitical landscape is poised for transformation. While these actions may not necessarily safeguard maritime shipping in the region, they certainly serve to deter potential adversaries, most notably China, and recalibrate the dynamics among Washington's purported allies in the region. This brings us to the end of the video. If you found this video insightful and want to see more, check out some of our previous videos and hit the subscribe button to stay connected.